Hello everybody, welcome back to Disney Mirrorverse. Today we're going to be showcasing Elizabeth Swann, who is right here. If you watch my Triton video, I kind of mentioned how they made her look a bit more realistic. So I want to kind of give you a comparison of some of the other characters that can kind of prove what I mean. But I did want to say she's yet another one of our yellow glowing characters. I don't know why that's such a common theme, but we got like Simba, Maui, Tinkerbell. I'm sure there's more I can't even think of, but otherwise I think she looks pretty good. I like the outfit she has on, and even like the hat is my favorite look for her. And I'm interested to see her stuff too. Let's just quickly look like for Belle, for example. Kind of looking at the facial structure, specifically the eyes, very large. Also going to Aladdin, kind of same thing. Other than the eyes, I would say it looks pretty normal, but when you go to Elizabeth Swann, eyes are way smaller. I don't know, I think she just looks way more realistic because of it. It's a different look. I'm curious if I went to Jack Sparrow, did they do him dirty as he got the big eyes? I don't know where he is on here. Probably already went past him. Yeah, he's got, well, actually they're pretty small, I would say. Alright. They kind of look big in this picture, but alright, anyways. Let's go through her abilities. Brethren Arsenal. Elizabeth begins each encounter with 4 Zeal charges, which is unique charges removed by Elizabeth Swann's basic attacks to launch additional Zeal basic attacks and mark a breaker of the code. I did hear that this was a bit of a complex moveset before doing this, but that meant nothing to me. Okay, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not going to get this. So hopefully you guys get it at home, because I'm not going to be able to explain it to you. Basic attacks, remove 1 Zeal charge to launch a Zeal basic attack. So it's the same thing. An enemy hit by a heavy attack or Zeal basic attack are marked as the breaker of the code. Breaker of the code is a unique gameplay effect applied to targets of Elizabeth Swann, utilized in increasing the effectiveness of her special abilities. Each time Elizabeth critically hits a breaker of the code, she inflicts a heal block for 4 seconds. So it sounds like she's specifically targeting one character at a time, right? Only one person can have this breaker of the code. Elizabeth fires 5 spirit cannon shots. The first shot is fired at her target, and all remaining shots land in random locations on the battlefield, dealing 600 damage to any enemies at each location. Breaker of the code is rooted for 5 seconds. When a breaker of the code is hit by the spirit cannon shot, they are knocked back and dealt an additional 200 damage. 200% damage. When a breaker of the code is defeated, Elizabeth's special ability fires 1 additional spirit cannon shot for the rest of the encounter. That's kind of funny. So there's a lot of, I guess, yeah, I don't, how do you make someone a break for the code again? A heavy attack. Okay. Got it. I think. Did we ever look at this? When Elizabeth basic attack hit a breaker of the code, she has 30% chance to gain a 10% focus buff. Alright. Let's go equip her talents. I'm obviously not going to know what the best ones are going to be. I'll just do attack because I don't care about focus right now. I mean, this one has more. Maybe I'll do this one. I never do this one for some reason. We'll do this one. And then we'll do this one on the end. Alright. Going to her bio. You can read that if you like. That's probably one of the longest bios I've seen. But hopefully the developer notes that I'll read later will kind of explain that for us as well. I also forgot to look at if she's melee or ranged or what she is, so we'll have to look. I assume she's not support. So let's go to here. So yeah, let's see, is she ranged? Yeah, I kind of thought so. So let's see what she's all about. I honestly am kind of confused at how this is even gonna work. Because I've seen she has a sword, she's got this book. Is she writing in the book to attack maybe? Oh yeah, she's ranged. So yeah, she's literally firing swords from her thing. We obviously want to pull off a heavy attack. So it's literally a cannon. That is a fun idea. It really is. having things come out of her book. Kind of reminds me of like Jack Skellington's in a way. It's an awesome animation too. I would have loved to see like 5 like big cannons just come out of the book at the top, but just the cannonballs came out. I wonder how many of those actually hit him, because I know he targeted him once, but then the other 6 are random. But he died pretty quick after I used that. It is a 600% hit, by the way, which is pretty crazy. So we need another ranged, maybe this? Nope. Maybe this? Yes. I think I only did 2 of these this time, because last time my video went way longer than I want it to be. So let's just do this one. Fighting Aladdin. I am interested to read her developer notes. I feel like the yellow arms look a little weird when she's in battle. I didn't mind it so much before, but it's kind of throwing me out. But I think it's just too much yellow. Like the rest of her outfit does not have that much. I think it works good as like a little accent to the black. But her entire arms are yellow. It's a little weird, I think. Alright, so... Geez, those cannons take a while to land. So most likely, Stitch only got hit by 1 of them because I don't think any even landed afterwards. But I suppose if you were quick enough, you could probably lead some characters over to where you want it to be hit. I don't know. Whatever. Let's go to... I was going to do the Seafaring Tower this time. She is, of course, seafaring. We could bring in Jack, since we brought in the Little Mermaid team last time, but there's only 2 Pirates of the Caribbean characters, so we could do... Maybe we should probably have a good hitter in here, so we could just bring in him for the heck of it. Alright, so now I would like to read the developer notes. I need to remember to put it on auto, because I forgot to last time. Tell us about this Guardian's transformation. Elizabeth Swann sails to enforce the tenets of the Brethren Code and ensure the safety of all loyal pirates across the suddenly treacherous seas. As she transcribes the code, she conjures enchanted spirit weaponry from the Brethren arsenal to assist her in bringing breakers of the code, alive or dead, to justice. What were your design goals? The enemy's already dead, by the way. With Elizabeth Swann, we wanted to create a no-nonsense DPS. We want her to be a consistent addition to your ranged roster that rewards players who can successfully perform her combat loop. I don't think I'm going to be one of those characters, to be honest with you. But if you are a skilled player of this game, then maybe she's the next big character. Elizabeth Swann utilizes a unique Zeal token to enhance her basic attacks. Tokens are spent with each attack to deal double damage. Heavy attack, in addition to dealing damage as expected, also recuperates her Zeal tokens. Together, this functions like an ammo and reload mechanic. She uses a simple basic attack and heavy attack combo for the majority of her sustainable DPS. A large number of attacks allow her to dish out deadly critical hits, and stackable buffs allow her to deal larger spikes of damage while focusing on a single target. So I feel like there are bits and pieces of what I've already said in there, but said in a way that makes a lot more sense than anything I've said before. I think I understand it a little bit better. Like, I had no idea about the ammo and reload kind of thing, but kind of focusing on a single target, kind of what I was getting at the beginning. We will read what abilities she has in a second, even though kind of I've already gone over it, but I'll try to be quick about it. I'm sure Hercules is helping get through these really quick. Elizabeth Swann can deal damage twice with every basic attack. Elizabeth Swann has access to reliable heal block applied whenever she critically hits. Elizabeth Swann's special ability fires cannonballs at random locations. Elizabeth Swann special ability deals increased damage routes and inflicts knockback to her primary target. Elizabeth Swann increases the number of cannonballs fired by her special ability, successfully defeating enemies out during the encounter. With her signature ability, Elizabeth Swann gains access to stackable and powerful focus buffs that increase the frequency and potency of critical hits. With the talent, Elizabeth Swann can reinforce her core combo. With the talent, Elizabeth Swann has powerful synergy with Captain Jack Sparrow and allied cleansers. With the talent, Elizabeth Swann can apply permanent focus debuffs that last for the duration of an encounter. And with the talent, Elizabeth Swann can gain access to reliable burn. I really skimmed over my talents. Not sure which ones mine apply to, but I'm sure I have at least one of those. I don't remember reading Burn, but it might have been in that second one that I applied. Describe the Guardian's playstyle. Elizabeth Swann focuses on a straightforward combo of 4 basic attacks and a heavy attack. She deals an exceptionally large number of attacks, with each of her basic attacks hitting and damaging enemies twice. Each hit can critically hit, and the rest of her kit plays off of. And focuses on getting potent and frequent critical hits. I read that correctly, by the way. It still doesn't make sense in my head, but we want Elizabeth Swann to have incentives for focusing on the same target for long periods of time. Most importantly, her core allows her to reliably maintain a heal block on her target. The short duration of the debuff requires her to focus on a single target to sustain the effect. Additionally, she gains access to powerful debuffs in her talents that incentivize repeatedly restriking the same opponent. Which you've kind of heard. I feel like I kind of glossed over the 4 basic attack and heavy attack thing, but it sounds like that's kind of what you want to go for, is attacking your primary character 4 times and then landing a heavy attack the 5th time. We are just cruising through these, but again, I think that's mostly Hercules if I had to guess. And to round out her kit, she also has access to a powerful AoE special ability. She can lay down a withering amount of area damage that can carve through large numbers of enemies. Which certainly seems the case. Even against 1v1s, it seemed like it was really taking them down. While the potential damage of this special is very high, it can be very unreliable, as the spirit cannon shots are fired at random locations on the battlefield. Elizabeth Swann is able to further augment her special by successfully eliminating enemies, which increases the max number of shots fired with every activation of her special. Yeah, I don't know. Like they said, it's kind of random, which I feel like is not the case for most Guardians, so it's kind of weird to have that with her. But with that high amount of damage, I think she'd be way overpowered if it wasn't random, but even still, with it being random, it still is crazy overpowered, in a way. What game modes does this Guardian excel in? Long duration modes with large number of enemies can allow her to stack up the number of cannonballs or special ability fire. Yeah, for sure, especially if the enemies have like low health, you can just start targeting smaller ones, right? Because any enemies she defeats will permanently improve her special for the remainder of the encounter. I don't know why those are different sentences. She can excel against Rift Raid Titanborns and similarly high defense opponents. Her high likelihood of critical hits allows her to reliably and consistently bypass enemy damage reduction. What allies pair best with this Guardian? I will read in 1 second. I should just get the next one going. This is going to be a long video too, because these design notes are crazy long. She fills the primary DPS role for the team, but lacks sustainability. Elizabeth Swann is a very critical hit-centric Guardian. She excels with Guardians that can provide further focus buffs to improve the effectiveness of her critical hits. Support Guardians can provide much appreciated healing. Guardians like Hero can amplify the effectiveness of Elizabeth Swann's focus buffs. Alternatively, Scrooge McDuck can provide additional focus buffs that greatly amplify Elizabeth Swann's eventual critical hits. Guardians like Olaf can provide a DPS boost with his signature ability, triggering a freeze on each of Elizabeth's basic attack hits, as well as providing Olaf with a steady source of hearth charges whenever she targets on freezing or burning opponents. So far, it sounds like Olaf's kind of the best one to me. Tank Guardians are necessary to keep Elizabeth Swann safe from harm. Guardians like Simba or Sully can lure our enemies away from her. So it sounds like you don't want enemies to ever be attacking her. Maybe even like, maybe King Triton would be good, you know? I don't know. There's so much more of this. Oh my gosh, we're gonna... there's so many notes on this one character. But, I mean, the more information, the better, right? What enemies does Guardian counter? Elizabeth Swann is best utilized against tank Guardians with high defense but little armor, as your critical hits are able to bypass damage reduction from defense. Tank Guardians such as Baymax are especially susceptible, and the defense benefits he can provide his allies are bypassed. Elizabeth Swann is the first ranged Guardian to have access to a heal block. This enables her to eliminate targets that rely on healing. This makes her exceptionally effective against healers and support Guardians, which is cool. Additionally, her damage is dealt directly through attacks and critical hits. She will not be reliant on damaging debuffs for her DPS, making her a reliable choice for scenarios with additional immunities that may negate the effectiveness of her peers. Last section. Who is best to defeat this fractured Guardian? Guardians like Kuzco are exceptionally effective at defeating Elizabeth Swann. It's great to have a character that is exceptional at beating your character. Kuzco and other Guardians who can inflict bind debuffs will shut down Elizabeth Swann's primary DPS loop by completely preventing her from using basic attacks. Kuzco is also immune to root debuffs, allowing him to easily avoid Elizabeth Swann's special abilities. That makes sense. I kind of forgot what Kuzco did for a second, but yeah, but not able to use your basic attacks, you're not going to be able to charge up whatsoever. Similarly, Guardians who can inflict dizzy debuffs can potentially mitigate Elizabeth Swann's DPS loop. I'm not going to start another round because I'm sick of it. Guardians like Alice or Cruella de Vil will be able to reduce a large percentage of her potential damage by reducing the hit accuracy of her basic attacks because of the dizzy debuffs. Guardians who can reliably purge focus buffs will be able to easily trigger against Elizabeth Swann. Guardians like Jack Skellington or Aladdin will always have a focus buff available for them to purge. Alright. Guardians who can evade her projectiles can also be effective. Guardians like Violet Parr can completely negate her range attacks, and Frank Wolf is able to significantly reduce range attack effectiveness while within his dense foliage. I suppose you could just stay out of the dense foliage, but the high frequency of Elizabeth Swann's attacks against certain Guardians can act as a double-edged sword. Donald Duck can quickly gain defense buffs thanks to the rapid pace of additional hits. Additionally, Maui can keep pace with his defense buffs whenever Elizabeth Swann gains her own focus buffs, while Guardians like Snow White will trigger a large number of thorns very quickly against Elizabeth. The person that wrote this does not know how sentences work, but I'm sick of reading. That was so much. She's a complex character, clearly, which means she's not for me. Like they said, she has some unique stuff for the ranged style, so maybe you just don't have a ranged character that you favor right now. I know a lot of people like Zerg a lot. I don't know if she's going to be better than him or not, but maybe it's worth trying it out. I think the idea of the book is cool from the design standpoint. I forget if she even holds a book in the movie ever, but she really could. The Brethren Code thing, I don't remember from the movies either. I don't know if that's made up or not. It has been a while since I've seen the movies. I've never been a huge fan of it, but I actually do really like it at the same time. So my cannonballs are landing. We hit Anger because we were targeting him, but why is he the only one there? Okay. I'm sick of talking, honestly. I recorded these back to back before, so just a lot of talking. That sucked. I like Elizabeth Swann just as a character getting added a lot more than King Triton. I think she's really cool, and I hope to see more characters from her series soon. Her design, not amazing, but I do like the costume. I just don't like the yellow parts on her arms. And I think that she's had some cooler costumes in the movies alone, so I don't know. But let me know what you think of her. I'm done. See ya.